Oh baby, here we are at the finals of the Covenant Store Championships for X-Wing. I'm Steven.
And I'm Zach.
And we have James Hobbs on the right, Gavin Norman on the left. A classic matchup, the Phantom Decimator versus Fat Han, and a new surprise, really, kind of seeing a lot of play here at the Store Championships and seemingly abroad, Mr. Corran.
Absolutely, and
E-Wing champion.
Some people are calling this the two-ship meta. Right before Wave 6, before Scum hits the scene. I don't know how much they'll change that. But the Phantom came on the scene, totally just flipping the meta on its head, and this is where we are.
This is where we are. And if you don't know Fat Han by now, let's explain it. This is a Millennium Falcon essentially decked out. Han is the pilot, as you might expect. It basically is all about getting super high odds on your offense and just having a lot of beefy shields and hull on the defense. Gunner and Han, both very critical pieces of making sure that you're going to get some hits in and they're going to land. And then over here we also have C-3PO, which is the classic kind of evade bot. You can guess either 0 or 1 evades, and then if you get it right, you get an extra evade. So it's a really good way to always kind of just take very little, if any, damage, and a lot of players run it with R2 as well. That's going to recover shields. However, James has chosen not to do that. James also using Corran here. Now, he is a very interesting include, a very key meta player right now, especially because of the two-ship meta, and especially because of the Phantom. He gets 2 attacks if he wants. He can do an attack during the end phase, and that means that after all the action has happened, all the actions have been used, the evade tokens, the focus tokens, those kinds of things, Corran can get that second shot, and if it's at good range and he's got good dice, can just blow a Phantom right out of the sky, which is, something that a lot of players actually like to see a little more these days, because this ship has been all over town for all kinds of competitive and casual events.
Yeah, and I mean, those 2 shots are great against all the best ships in the meta right now, the Decimator, the Phantom, and even the Falcon. When you run to another Falcon, getting 2 shots on the same turn, C-3PO is limited once per turn, and during the end phase, you're going to get a shot at them, and a lot of times not have a shot yourself the next turn. So I think Corran is a fantastic include here, and obviously it served him well getting into the finals of this tournament.
Can't be happier to see an E-Wing in the finals, Zach. I got to tell you, why don't you run us down Gavin's list over there? I know you're a Decimator Phantom player yourself. I've seen you play the list a few times, so what's he got going on?
Absolutely. So starting off, he's got the Admiral, going to be 8 pilot skill here. Veteran Instincts, going to bump him up to a 10, which is important to get him over Han and get him over other Phantoms. Running Darth Vader, Gunner, means he's going to be able to do a lot of damage. So yeah. Darth Vader, at the end of each attack, you can suffer 2 damage yourself, and the Decimator having 16 total hull/shields combined has a lot of health to give, but you can suffer 2 damage yourself, giving a critical to the opponent's ship, and that can be super important against ships like Soontir Fel or even Whisper, only having 4 total health. 2 or 3 shots like that, and you just kill the ship outright. But having Gunner as well means that if your first attack missed, you get attack again. Important part of this combo here is that Vader can trigger twice at that point in a single turn. So very quickly you can wear down ships that previously are super hard to hit. Phantom with a cloak, rolling all sorts of dice, and with an evade and focus. Very hard to get through to Whisper, but that's a great way to do it. And
There's nothing like guaranteed damage,
There is nothing quite like guaranteed damage. And, of course, finishing off with Whisper here, 7 pilot skill, Veteran Instincts to get it to a 9. Very common move. Also has Gunner on Whisper, meaning all sorts of pain guaranteed each turn. Advanced Cloaking Device, of course, and the Fire Control System. End of each attack, going to get a target lock for even more bizarre odds. So both these lists, heavy hitters, very consistent hitters, and at least one ship with a lot of health, which is very important. Sometimes Phantom can roll all blanks, and when he does, if your opponent is running something like this Han Solo across the table, who can get 3 or 4 hits every turn, you can just lose a ship pretty quick.
You just lose.
You definitely want to have a ship like the Decimator or the Falcon to not just get knocked out of a game quickly. So great list here, great showcase of the tournament. I'm glad to see we have Imperial v Rebel in the finals here.
It's always good to see, and both these ships maneuvering very similarly. Playing a little merry-go-round here, and Corran now is cutting into the middle. Seeing kind of an opportunity, some favorable asteroid placement, the ability to maneuver through there and potentially get to the other side of the board without too much problem. And he's going to barrel roll up. He's going to make a little room, and I think the Falcon's probably just going to swing in right next to him. Hopefully provide some support. Now, Whisper in an interesting spot here turned a different way, obviously on purpose. What do you make of that, Zach?
It is really interesting. I think the asteroid placement kind of forced him to go around the outside here, and being able to bump with the Decimator, not get him too far down the field. Not the worst call. Going too forward on the decloak here, I believe, and I would expect a turn. Yeah.
It's a pretty fair expectation. So still staying a little bit away from the fight here, and I don't know if Corran's going to be able to get a shot or not. We'll have to see where this Decimator ends up.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that there's not going to be many shots had here.
And look at the circling commence. What do you think for you as a player? I'm not quite as experienced, although I'm getting there when it comes to asteroid placement and kind of early game positioning. What are these players considering right now whenever they're doing this dance?
Well, if I'm concerned as either player, it's Gavin. The Phantom can get in a bad position,
Yes.
and you don't want it to be in a bad position. You kind of want it.
Oh, look at that.
Nice. Going to be range 3 here on the Decimator. They're going to get to shoot each other because the Decimator has a 360 arc.
I wonder if Corran takes the second shot here. That's a good question for old Steven.
I would guess not, given that he can probably like 2 bank here. I don't know the E-Wings dial super well, but he can turn kind of, and he's going to be able to get shots next turn. Nice. 3 hits there. Spin his target lock.
Take 2.
Ouch.
Wicked hit there.
That's part of what makes this Corran so awesome, though. He forewent the crew R2 on Han and instead got the astromech version on Corran. So even though he took 2 early there, green maneuver on this next turn means he's going to be back up, and it's essentially only 1.
And that pretty much guarantees that he's not going for the in-phase shot here.
All right, rolls 1 of 8 because he's at range 3. Going to fire control system, get that target lock, and yeah, I don't think we're going to see a second shot here.
And got the dice in hand. What's James going to choose?
But definitely the number one thing here is you can't have the Phantom in the wrong spot at the wrong time.
Yep.
Too close and not being able to decloak without... The asteroids are kind of tight in the middle. So that means the Phantom is probably going to stay around the edge this whole game. Getting in there can be very dangerous, and you can leave yourself basically not the correct decloaking window. So...
Yeah, it's looking like Phantom's staying on the outskirts a little bit, and maybe a little bit too much. Corran not in a great position himself here, though. He's kind of set up to take some 360 shots, depending on where this Decimator ends up, and I don't think he's going to have much of an arc here.
Yeah, I think Corran playing it safe because he's going to take a green maneuver there to get the shield, and just going to try to stay at range 3 and not take any more damage.
Push the limit, and
I actually like that. So if I'm Corran, or I'm the player using Corran here, if you can stay kind of at range and poke the Decimator while recovering the shields that he may be knocking off of you the whole time,
yeah,
that's going to force Gavin to do something here.
But it does make you think, though, going back, easily should have just taken that second shot with Corran here, because I just don't think he's going to have a shot to speak of.
Yeah.
So that's just a missed attack opportunity there.
The only thing I can think of in that case is, for not taking the second shot, is making your opponent think that you are going to turn in there.
Yeah.
And take some shots. Because once they know you're not attacking, that kind of changes positioning.
Yeah, definitely. What you're willing to do. And Whisper now starting to head in on some better positions. And Decimator turning in also.
Very conservative play here on both sides. Very interesting.
And see, not taking that second shot may have indeed made the Decimator kind of turn in and await Corran. But then again, with a big ship like that in the corner
Are you not
going
to turn anyway?
There's not a lot of places to go. All right, so here we go. Another green maneuver for Corran.
That's so nice.
It's going to recover the shield and the stress. And we're back full.
We're back to nothing happened.
Just unbelievable, isn't it? To watch that actually happen. And Corran, one of the best tools to use with that R2-D2.
Right.
Still not going to have a shot here, though.
Whisper decloaking forward and moving forward. This is just crazy. I was expecting a turn there.
It's a wild fight, Zach.
He's trying to get behind the Falcon here, and that's fair. If Phantom can get behind the Falcon, that's going to be the best place it can be, because it can just stay behind the Falcon pretty much for the rest of the game.
Indefinitely.
And the one thing you can't do with a Falcon is because the Falcon has a 360 arc. If you get with the Falcon behind you as as Whisper, that is a problem.
Yeah.
And we actually saw that in the finals of the World Championship when the Falcon got behind the Phantom, and it was not good. It did not end well for Mr. Phantom.
Well, Decimator's going to turn in here. A big one for the old big ship. 3 turn in. And we may have some 360 strafing going on here, but I just don't think we got any shots.
Just out of range.
A lot of positioning going on here. Both, all ships at full health. Cornhorn fully recovered and now going to make a move inside.
They're circling. They're circling and getting closer to the middle every time.
The thing is, you can't outcircle the Phantom. That is the most maneuverable ship that I've ever seen.
That is a very correct statement. So you think the Phantom's going to decloak left here?
Look at, it's amazing. Watching this happen, it's amazing how similar, really, these two lists function in different sides of the spectrum here, Doing it the Rebel way or the Imperial way. It looks awfully similar, doesn't it?
It is very similar. Obviously, there's subtleties and there's differences here, but this is going to be a great turn. We're going to have some shots fired here, at least by the Phantom, I think.
We'll see something interesting. Decimator, if he gets through those asteroids and maybe goes all the way through with 3 forward or something, that could be significant. Corran might not get a shot if that's the case, or at least just through an asteroid. And I can't wait to see where he ends up. Falcon, as expected, kind of just moving in there.
And, without this Han Solo being the true Fat Han with R2-D2 on it, I'm way more apt to go all in on the Falcon early just to get as much damage as possible and try to just remove that Falcon. But the problem with Corran is he has R2. So if you get down to a one-on-one, he has R2, and you have either of your ships, that could be a significant issue.
And Corran may have a shot here. It's going to be close. It definitely won't be a great shot, but it could be a shot.
We'll see.
Arc's hard to judge sometimes, but we do know that Phantom's going to take some fire from the Falcon and vice versa.
That's range 3. That's going to be in. I think he's going to even have range on the Falcon there with the Decimator. He does. He's target locking, so that's range 3. I would not be surprised to see a lot of Falcon hate here.
Well, this is it. There's the dice.
All right.
Target locked for 1. Looks like 2 hits.
It's fair. So it's going to be range 3 through a rock for the Falcon. That's 3 dice. The most dice you're going to see that ship roll for a long time.
Straight evades.
I think he took 1 shield there.
You take 1? There it is. Looks like another damage from Whisper. Is that right?
Yep, and he evades it, which is going to be really good for Whisper. Going to get the target lock. Going to get a trigger gunner to shoot again. And that's actually exactly what you want on that first volley.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, other than 4 hits, just straight up.
Well, there's Whisper now. What's going to happen? 1 hit. And no evade. So another shield taken from the Falcon by Whisper. And the target lock is moved, courtesy of our favorite fire control system. And there's the 4 hits that we've come to know and love.
Yep.
Decimator taking some serious damage there.
Falcon,
yeah. My apologies. Like I said, they look very similar.
All right, so that was a pretty good turn for Gavin, knocking all the shields off the Falcon. Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Tough choice here. I think if I'm the Falcon, I'm swinging at that Decimator. He's not rolling. He's rolling 0 dice. He's gonna get range 3 through an asteroid, but yeah, there he goes. He's gonna shoot the Decimator here. 1 hit, trigger Han. 2 hits.
2 hits and 2 damage to the Decimator. And then I think Corran is gonna get a shot for sure here.
Question is, do you take more than 1 shot? Ooh.
1 hit, target locked. And I think that's 2 more.
All right.
If I'm not mistaken.
That's going to make Vader pretty hard to trigger the lower this health
gets. And I think
gets.
Corran's going again here.
I think that's fair. 3 hits.
3 hits. And he's taking a crit.
Taking a hit and a crit, I think. That's a serious turn 1.
Yeah, and the crit is losing 1 to his agility, which doesn't do a whole lot for the old Decimator. So,
this is probably exactly why we saw the circling, which is both these players realizing just how fragile their big ships are.
I mean, look at already they're they're almost in limb mode. I mean, the Decimator's taking some serious damage. Han's shields are all down. And Corran making it happen here. And he took that extra shot last time.
Yep.
So he's not going to be able to shoot this time.
He's just trying to get out of dodge.
Definitely wants to stay on target here on the Decimator. So he's going to set himself up to make a good push next turn and get a double shot in potentially.
Yep.
That E-Wing dial, not a terrible dial.
Very good maneuver there by the Phantom, decloaking to the right, 3-turn. It's going to put him in a really good spot.
Yeah, how far does Han go here? You know, that's the ultimate question. You don't want to be in range 1. And Phantom taking an evade there, it looks like.
We're about to find out. Yeah, this is the same strategy Gavin was using in the game before, and I think evade's just the correct call.
It's a big push, 4 forward.
Trying to get out of here.
Keep that Falcon pretty safe.
I think the Phantom's still going to have the Corran shot if he wants it. Even the Falcon, I think he's potentially going to be at range 3 there.
Decimator taking a look at a 2 bank here. There it goes.
Going to check for a target lock. Not going to get it. So he's going to focus, which won't matter so much. Phantom, range 3 on Corran. I feel like he could reach that Falcon if he wanted him.
He probably could if he believed hard enough.
You just have to believe. Looks like he's going after Corran. Woo.
2 hits. And all evades. You know, the interesting thing about that...
That's actually not what you... was it all evades?
Well, he evaded all of them, as far as I saw. You know, do you go after Corran? Really?
I mean, I think you measure for Falcon.
Yeah. It's without a doubt. We're back to the dials. Just the one whisper shot. I guess they agreed that the Falcon was not in range. Ooh, look at Corran move here.
Get me out of here.
What's happening here?
I'm not sure. I mean, it is possible if he tries to go after the Decimator here that he's just in super short range of the Decimator and the Phantom.
Yeah, maybe anticipating what the Phantom's capable of. Certainly with a cloak left, there's a lot of possibilities for that Phantom just taking Corran out of the sky, especially with the Decimator backing him up. And we could see a barrel roll here. Checking with the Falcon, making sure there's not going to be any collisions. And there's the barrel roll.
It's really, going back to the early parts of this game, seeing the Phantom basically circle the board until he can get behind the Falcon is kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to speed around until you allow me behind you.
Yeah. Well, you know, in deep space, there's not a 3x3 map that you have to play on, so
it's true.
That might look a little bit different. But in the game of X-Wing, here it is. Mission accomplished.
He's doing it here.
Yeah, he's found a way. Definitely the faster ship, and you can feel it on the board how much more agile this Phantom is actually in the game, and it's so cool to feel that, how that's come through.
It's very correct.
Falcon taking a turn here, doing a little dance. Decimator now kind of out to pasture. not really having a whole lot of impact here, and I don't know how he's going to get back in here fast enough. That's a start.
That is a start.
I still don't think he'll have a shot this time. And Corran, I'm very interested in Corran here. Is he going to try to do like a K-turn and
I think he has to, right?
Get back into the Phantom? Is that the ultimate plan, is to try to take the Phantom out right now? Next turn?
Looks like we're rolling at range 2 here. He's got that target lock. Brutal.
Ooh, baby. 3 hits. And looks like just 3 is what's going to stick out.
All right, we're going to take 3. Evade token, 2 hull.
C3. What was the C3PO guess there?
Maybe he guessed 1.
Did he guess 1? I think he guessed 0.
0. He definitely guessed 0.
Yeah, he guessed 0
so
and
he
then
takes
used the
1.
evade token to take 1. And that's the thing, is like, that's a really strong swing from Whisper, and we know what the Falcon does with that.
Yep, you really need that.
Just repairs itself.
That's why getting behind the Falcon is important, so you can consistently get that range 1 shot. If you can get 4 or 5 damage on the Falcon, that's really the only way to move enough damage to get this done quick.
All right, 2 hits.
Spin an evade token.
Spin an evade token.
That's why you take the
so
evade.
we're going to gunner here, yeah?
Yep.
There's 2 more hits. And deciding here.
Trigger Han or not?
Yep, 2 hits will be fine. And
Focus it
all
away.
focus turn to evades, and the Whisper is going to get out unscathed. Here's a Corran K turn.
There it is.
He's going to stress is going to take away his push the limit, which could be an issue. Not quite as potent this turn, and wherever Whisper ends up, I'm going to be keeping a close eye on the action.
Yeah, I think that's a not having your action there is fine with Corran, given that the Decimator is probably not going to have a shot on you, and even if Whisper did, probably doesn't want to use its shot on the E-Wing at this point.
Yeah, it's kind of a bait ship almost until that Falcon goes down, because it can just recover those shields. It's going to be making those green maneuvers anyway.
Yeah, it's really interesting because you don't really want to attack Corran because he can just heal the damage, but you also don't want to attack Han because he's really hard to hit.
He's very hard to do damage to. And the Phantom playing it safe here, spreading the arc out, hoping to get a shot on the Falcon. And look at this maneuver. Easily getting... I think that's out of range.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's way out of range.
Now the Decimator might be doing a little turn here.
Yeah, let's
And he is.
see how this one goes.
That Decimator is not afraid of the rocks.
That looks all right. Now he could probably weasel through this asteroid field if he really wants it. And we're going to have a Decimator Falcon trade going on here. And I wonder if... Nah, there's no way.
Which I really like this trade for the Decimator, given Darth Vader. Obviously, Darth Vader, you don't have too much damage left to give, but the Falcon doesn't either. And the ability to sink crits in could just be insane.
And I think I like Whisper in the Corran versus Whisper joust.
I do too, because Whisper can dance circles around Corran.
We've been there, Zach. I've felt that pain all too well.
I've literally played that game. Gunner
For
3 hits. That's the money.
Guessing 1 was C-3PO. Gets 1, 2, and then 3 with the token. Incredible.
Yep.
Incredible. And now this pushes it. Are we going to see a Vader usage?
I almost want to take a shot, because you could get it where he doesn't get to roll dice here. You could ignore all of his pilot upgrades. You could... There's a lot of juicy... You could just do 2 damage.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's happening. All right, so Han taking a shot here. Han gets 2.
He's taking it.
Looks like taking some more damage here.
All
Back
right.
to the dials. Where is Corran going? I'm so interested. 1 forward, going to strip that stress. And then he's probably going to push the limit for something real fancy.
I would guess it involved a focus. And an evade.
Yep, evade focus. And James calling that the old turtle maneuver.
Turtle.
The old Corran turtle. And he's actually quite good at it. I mean, with three shields. And that's where we looked at some other games where, Corran has that shield upgrade. And I think that is pretty fantastic.
It's
on that ship.
It's good decisions. I think the shield upgrade plus R2 makes him a very brutal ship to have to deal with.
And look at this. Phantom, man, risky business as far as I'm concerned. I don't like the double Corran shot on the Phantom here. That is scaring me a little bit. Especially with the Falcon going to be able to strip some focus too.
Yeah, but I mean, he's also in a position where he's got to do something about the Falcon.
Yeah, this is about to go real bad.
And his Decimator is about to be off the board. So I imagine we see a turn from the Decimator here towards the Falcon, and he's just going to go all in, all guns in on the Falcon here.
And it's not going to be that great, Zach. I mean, look at the range on that.
Yeah, he's going to have target lock. He's also going to have gunner. The main thing on this Falcon is getting more than one attack in on a turn.
And we do also have Darth Vader, of course, to
to
guarantee at least the damage in there.
All right.
And there it is. So let's take a look at how this one's going to play out. Starting with the Decimator at range 2. Here we go. Here's a big roll.
All right. I think he's focusing for 3 here.
Guessing
No,
0.
he's using his ability for... All right, they're taking 1 crit here.
So 1 crit to the Falcon.
Yep.
And now can the Phantom do the business here?
Range 3 through a rock.
Tough call here.
Target
Lock
target
3. Looks like a lot of hits there.
Looks like 4 hits. Yeah, so he doesn't have the evade token. He also doesn't have C3PO on this one.
Wow.
So that's a lot of damage.
That is a lot of damage
And
to the
I think
Falcon,
that was
and
all
there's some
blanks.
crits too, I believe. Damage cockpit crit. Structural damage crit. Loses agility, and I believe he has 1 more to go. Direct hit. There it is. Falcon has 1 hull remaining, and that just about paid off the hardest that it could have.
Yep. And
Now here is where it is, Zach. This is where the game is for me.
Falcon's going after the Phantom?
I think he's hoping to strip either an evade token or a focus.
And then Corran can double punch?
And then Corran can try to double punch.
I sure do like trying to get rid of that Decimator.
That is a very, very tempting thing. But can the Falcon, I mean, yeah, it's very difficult because Corran is set up here to really do work.
So my problem, though, is that Corran is going to do some work.
There's 2 hits and a crit.
But my problem is that, so Falcon has 1 health, right?
Oh, he did. He attacked the Decimator.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The problem with attacking the Phantom, I mean, you are concentrating fire, but if you let Vader steal around a trigger and Han only has 1 health, that's no good.
That's no good. Look at this. We are down to it.
All right, 2, and he's going to focus.
He's going to spend the focus. Oh, look at that.
And we got to focus.
Focus and evade.
And an
evade. This is
evade.
where Corran's got it. He's got a shot at it.
And he's going to get that target lock. He's got a target lock here. It's going to be a big roll.
Definitely has a target lock. And there it goes. So 3 dice on 4 here. Oh, spin it. Oh, that's not what you
blanks.
want. A complete reroll.
1 hit.
Just a single hit.
And he got the evade. Wow.
Ugh. Oh, Corran just not getting it done there.
That was big.
Now no shots next turn. I don't think there's any way the Falcon really survives this next volley. Both the Falcon and the Decimator just hurting. Boy, maneuvers, there's really no way to go. This Decimator's been flown well these past few turns, really cutting off these vectors.
And I think the Decimator had 1 mission, and that was to kill Han Solo.
Well, it's going to be fully realized. Put the Whisper at a little bit of risk there, but, looking at those rolls, it wasn't terribly low odds. Had that been range 1 for Corran, I think we would have been thinking of it a lot differently.
Yeah.
And still putting the Phantom in there.
Phantom's looking to finish the job.
I would consider maybe trying to get a shot on Corran with that Phantom, because I think you have to assume that, well, the Decimator can't, I guess, just get it done. That's not the easiest thing in the world, given C-3PO. And
yeah, the Decimator definitely can't just get it done, especially with 1 health left. If he still had that 4, which is why I think that attack on him last turn was correct, then I would be terrified. But this is going to be brutal. He's going to get everything he needs here.
Yeah. And getting the target lock on the Falcon as he attempts to fly to the corner of the board.
Range 1. Going to be real good here.
Definitely range 1.
3 hits. Target lock.
May as well target lock for 4.
4 hits.
4 hits. I don't believe there's any way to even do this. Even guessing 1.
If he names 1, rolls 1.
Uses a token.
Still short.
Yeah. And he's -1 agility.
Oh, he does have a determination, though, so if the crits are the correct crits. Let's see.
Nope.
He does not even stop the first one.
All right. Man, that would have been insane. I would have jumped out of my seat. Determination gets those
Just
2 crits. Just
wins the
discarded.
game. Yeah. See you later.
And there goes the Falcon off the board. So James down 1 ship, and man, did it go fast.
All right, so we have the Decimator here, 1 health versus a Phantom, or with a Phantom versus Corran. I won't say this is over, but it's definitely in Gavin's favor, I think, at this moment.
Yeah, this is a big problem here. We're going to see these next few maneuvers. Can Corran be frisky enough to get in there and maybe do something? Certainly has to get the Decimator out of town.
I mean, the thing about the Phantom and, with Corran getting the 2 attacks on a single turn, it's very possible to just have 1 bad defensive roll.
Yep.
And if that happens and the Phantom just goes down, like, that's what you kind of have to have happen.
That's James's way out of this thing, for sure. All right, so Gavin taking a look at the Phantom here and the Decimator. Pointing, a lot of James pointing here. A little measuring. Artie Barrel could push the limit for something potentially.
I just don't think there's a reason.
Not sure what it would be. Dial's already revealed, but both players not terribly concerned. He's not pushing the limit. Phantom going to turn in here. Get ready for the joust.
It's game time.
And certainly Decimator want to get in on the party before it gets blown away.
Or maybe not.
Or just hanging out. Just that guy in the background.
Just
turning to the manager.
Because, I mean, he gets to shoot first, right? So if they can ever shoot each other.
All right, now I think it looks like nothing happened on that dice there. Probably trying to flip a crit, I think, is what I understand that to be.
Yeah, I believe so.
Because I didn't see an asteroid.
Corran gonna K-turn.
Is Corran K-turning? Boy, he's trying to be frisky here.
Man, he's gonna try to make it happen.
I'll tell you what, though, when you're moving first and Whisper can decloak wherever it wants, it becomes pretty difficult to outmaneuver this ship, if not impossible.
Whisper is not one to be outmaneuvered.
Look at this now. This is just setting it up.
Yep. Gonna focus, not an arc. Not gonna need the evade. Gonna get a range 2 here probably on Mystery Wing. Decimator just cruising.
Decimator cruising and trying to heal here. Nothing. Range 2, Phantom just cutting across the board here. Sees its target. Corran gonna need to roll some good dice here. That looks like a lot of hits to me. And it looks like a lot of evades too, so 1 damage taken.
And that's actually the perfect amount for Corran. He's going to be able to recover it on the green he's likely to do anyway to get rid of the stress. And it's not going to trigger Gunner to give Phantom another shot.
Yep. And now Corran probably, I guess his best bet is maybe trying to get this Decimator off the board.
Yeah, I think that's what he's going to be trying to do.
He's certainly not going to hit that Phantom. I don't know that Corran will ever be able to hit that Phantom again in this game.
I mean,
as I have significantly experienced, Zach.
You're probably correct.
You know it all too well.
But the 2 shots, they'll give you a chance.
They do.
Without the double shot.
If you can get them.
Yeah, if you can get the Phantom in your scopes and get 1 double shot going, you have a shot. You really do have a shot, and you just need 1 good roll against 1 bad roll.
Just 1 real good roll.
All right. Phantom's getting it here.
Yeah, definitely making it happen.
Just says, bring it.
Yeah, we're going to see a turn. This could easily be a range 1. I think we're going to be looking at a range 1, just side swipe.
A 4K turn is honestly not the worst thing here. Because you risk here landing on that asteroid. Obviously, he's not going to. But
look at that.
Man,
he's just out of arc.
I think both of them are just out of arcs of each other. That's
man,
crazy.
Oh, man. Boy, we could... If just a little bit farther there, and Corran would have had a great shot at this.
Looks like Decimator's trying to stay away.
He might stay himself away right off the edge of that board.
Wouldn't be the worst loss. But that Phantom's going to be in really good position for the next turn. Decloak to the right. Turn right behind Corran. And it's making that push the limit really kind of a pain this turn.
Yeah, no shots happening. All right, so Corran turning out and might try to position using that asteroid to the advantage. Just going to go all turtle mode.
Turtle.
And we know how this goes. Phantom going to decloak, going to turn in, and I think this is going to be some fireworks.
We might have ourselves a fried Corran soon.
This is... Yeah.
This is classic Phantom magic.
Very well
here.
flown here by Gavin. Just cutting off the vectors.
And Decimator here is going to get shots without even getting fired at.
Yeah.
Brutality.
Yeah, this is the end of Corran Horn, my friends.
You're predicting it here?
I am predicting that this is the end of the story.
Range 2 Decimator with a target lock and the Admiral. Target locking there. Using the Admiral to change that focus.
Looks like 3 hits to me.
All right, we need some magic juice here, James.
That's not magic.
No, but he is going to spend the evade token, taking 1, which is fine.
It's not fine, Zach. This Phantom is about to lay it on.
Well, the 1 is fine because you can recover it, but this 5-die roll with a target lock right behind you is not what you want.
Yeah, we're just going to reroll 1. It's going to be 4 damage.
It's going to seem okay.
And I believe he takes...
Focus. And then
he's going to take 3.
Down to 1. Maybe a crit. Could be a direct hit here.
Stunned pilot. Well, that's not great.
I mean, I would be stunned. Wouldn't you be stunned? Phantom going to cloak.
Poor Corran.
Oh, yeah. He really needed to get that Decimator off the board. The 2 shots there is a problem. 1 range of the Phantom, just not great.
Yeah, I think James knows how this one turns up.
Corran flying off the board?
I think so.
I won't count it as over until Corran is not on the board. Strange things happen.
You're a very progressive man. Corran,
that's in my bio.
Corran not having a shot for the past about 5 turns has been a real bummer.
That is a problem.
All right, so now we're just going to try to get in the way of the Decimator here.
Yep. A bump would mean no shot. I still think this Phantom's going to decloak to the right.
I mean,
turn.
there's no wrong maneuver here for the Phantom unless you just put the dial wrong.
Like you turn right off the board right here?
Yeah.
That'd be a bummer.
That would be a real bummer. That would be Corran potentially back in this game.
Yeah, but nope. We are not having that happen.
Instead, Gavin's flying like a champion.
Like a store champion. We'll see if he is. I've got good feelings for him right now.
Yeah, Decimator's going to bump. I mean, James gave himself the best odds at surviving this round.
Absolutely. I mean, still range 1 Phantom with a focus and a target lock.
And this bump is tough because where does Corran go after this? He can't do any greens to get shields back and still get out of the way of the Decimator. And there is 5 hits. That's the end of Corran Horn. There's no need to even roll it. It's over. The fat lady has sung, Zach. How can you evade 5 damage?
You can't. It's the trick.
I sure don't see any way that it's possible.
Looks like he's going to evade 4 of them.
Yep, so there's the evade.
I think he recovered a shield there.
He did recover 1. Oh, I forgot about that. That is unbelievable.
Still in the game. Corran lives for another day.
This is crazy now. Wow, well you gotta love the tenacity here.
Let's take another green. Really getting close to the edge of that board there.
Very close. Recovering a shield, but
Then what?
then flying off the board. I mean, there's no way around it. Maybe hoping for time, but the finals are untimed. Well, this is wild.
I mean, sometimes you do what you gotta do, but this looks a lot like 2 shots on the E-wing this turn.
you know, maybe some ships go off the board here. I don't know. And remember, he does have 1 shield back. Phantom basically just drifting through space right behind Corran, making sure that he keeps those shots coming.
And then a 1 turn.
This is a classic Phantom maneuver.
And that's actually going to be pretty nice. That the Decimator going to bump in all the right ways, probably.
Yeah.
Which means range 1.
And then it's just a few dice away.
Never the worst place to be in.
Yeah, Decimator gonna bump. And there you go. So you can't really ask for better, can you?
Nope. Range 1, Corran's not going to get a shot. With a target lock. And the Admiral.
Roll him up, Gavin.
Get it.
Put Corran out of his misery.
Ouch. Nothing good there. Do you even target lock? You just gunner. You just don't even mess around. Just gunner. I just turn him 1 because he can't take it.
All right, that's fair. Turn in 1.
Gonna evade it. Gunner. Here we go. That looks better.
That looks way better.
Target lock there. 3 hits and a crit.
And that's gonna be it. Yeah.
No,
yeah. Spend a token and 2 on the dice. 1 shield
Crazy.
down. He's got 1 hull with Whisper right behind.
And he's gonna trigger Vader, and that's the game.
That'll be it, of course.
Vader for the win.
Well,
Classic, how it should be.
There you have it, guys. All the way from Tulsa, Oklahoma. The winner of the store championships here, Gavin Norman. It was a full house at the store. How many players? 32?
32 sold out.
32 X-Wing players. Thank you so much to all the X-Wing players that came into Tulsa and made it such a fantastic event. And there were some alt stress tokens given out at this event. So if you see those white stress tokens, that's what they're from our squad token set. So I hope everyone who came out enjoyed those. Thank you guys for watching. Zach, got anything else?
Fly casual.
Fly casual, guys. See ya.